Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. I'm looking at myself, but nothing is coming up on the screen. I don't know why. But
Because we're trying to save the screen.
Oh, they're trying to save the screen?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, everybody, we got a lot to talk about. Ezra, my co-host, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm sorry I missed last week, Heshy.
It's okay. I had a wonderful co-host here on the show. He said about 4 words, and he even laughed at my joke.
Oh, so you really had a great show.
Yeah,
The way you like, right? You get to do all the talking, people laughing.
I get all the talking, I get all the show. I don't know. I'm watching myself on the screen, and nothing is coming up. I don't know why. I bet you there's not even sound. My producer's doing a wonderful job because he says everything is perfect. What's going on? Why don't I see myself? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to talk about what's going on the show. We have a lot to talk about your mayor. We have a lot to talk about your president. We have a lot to... I'm going to throw something at him because he's upset with me that he screwed up the show again. I bet you nobody's even listening to me. It's my fault.
It's your phone's not
Everything
working,
is my fault. You know what I
Apparently
mean?
your phone's not working?
Yeah, my phone is working fine. Anyways,
we're good.
I want to tell you.
Okay,
what,
so
I want to tell you what happened this week. Okay.
I'm just having a good time watching a producer make a total fool of you. But it's okay.
It's okay. He makes a fool of me all the time. You know what I mean? I want to tell you people something. Today was a special day, and you want to know why?
Tell us why, Heshy.
I'll tell you why. Today, I qualified not only for matching funds, but we got the matching funds. I got enough money so I could make changes. I'm going to get elected on this ballot. I went before the Republican Executive Committee. You know that last Wednesday when I did the show.
Right.
So we did the show, and I went to the executive committee to speak, and I made a passionate plea. I spoke to them. They asked me a question about my jail and about my past, and they invited Kalman Yeager to come to speak also. Now, Kalman Yeager, they're saying, has accomplished some stuff. What has he accomplished? Raising taxes by 18%? Not taking care of stuff? I'm not knocking his personal thing yet. I'm going to go after his personal hygienes and other problems later on, but I want to be a man right now. I want to talk about that right now that I've got my war chest. I've taken care of phase 1 of my campaign. We did our fundraising. We put together a solid team. I have people ready to go out for signatures on February 26th. And by the way, everybody, I want to put up a sign right now, the Just Enough Heshy show, Just Enough, what do you mean Just Enough Heshy? Of course, Just Enough, but HeshyTishler.com. I want you to call into my place. Email me. Come and volunteer. We're starting signatures on February 26th. We're going out. We're not going to collect 500 that's qualified or 1,000. We're going after 2,500 to 3,000 signatures door to door. I want your help. We're going to be putting posters up right after Passover. I want no doubt. That's what I'm going to do. So HeshyTishler.com, and you can email me at justenoughheshy@gmail.com if you want to be a volunteer. Join me, guys. You want changes? Now I got my war chest. We have over $250,000 we raised, and we want to raise another $250,000. So send in your contributions. You can go to my website, HeshyTishler.com. That's HeshyTishler.com. Any donation you give, I get 8 times the matching funds.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to start our show before I get serious today because I want to talk about what happened at the executive committee last week. I want to show you what voter fraud is, even at the smallest scale, what voter fraud is. And yesterday I had a chat with the new chairman of the real guy is Jerry Cassard. He's on the state level of the Conservative Party. But I spoke to this lady, Francine. Nasty right away on the call. We're not supporting you. You cannot come speak to me. I mean, understand, you have a party. You're allowing the other side to come and you won't let me come. That is right there alone, not the democratic process. We're supporting Kalman. He's done stuff. I said, what has he done? And then after all of this, she says, you better play fair. I says, you?
Oh, so Kalman's getting the conservative line?
He's getting the conservative line
and the Democrat.
And the Democrat line. And he's going to be challenging me in the primary, which I'm happy for the Republican line because I'm going to beat him. He only raised like 40 grand, and that was even before, so he got no matching funds. He didn't qualify. But I want you to know, but nobody wants to give him money. I mean, only his rich friends that he gives, that he does special favors for. But, this Francine says, you better run a good campaign, and you better run clean. And I said, what, you're threatening me? I said, who do you think you are? He ran a dirty campaign. By the way, Last year, when I ran for city council of the, or
Senate.
2 years of, not Senate, for
City
city
council.
council of the 48th district, because that was the deal I made with Carmen Yeager. Carmen Yeager sat me down, don't run, and we're going to support you on the 48th district. Not only did he support me, he lied. Not only did he not come out and help me raise funds, he lied. I was, what is the word? Not stupid or
Naive.
Naive. I believe that the politicians don't lie when they sit face to face and talk to you. I had a private meeting with him, and this is what he did. We went to Mr. Eichenstein's house, we sat down, and we had a private meeting. I thought he was truthful and honest. Not only did he put up a young boy, Bendette, not only did he have his friends do things bad against me, but he put up this lady, Maria Mark, supposedly a Jew, married to a non-Jew. And what was the deal I just found out about? Because after I was trying, because Carmen Yeager called me a bunch of times to try to back me out. He told me, don't join the race. We're going to give you a community membership. We will maybe deal with you and support you in 2 years from now. I says, come out now and support me. He says, well, I can't do it now. I said, of course not, because you have a lie. Another lie and another lie and another lie. You know what he did? He hired Maria Mark to work in his office, who knows nothing about the religious community, okay? She doesn't live in our community. She's a staff member in his Borough Park office that is a no-show job for $60,000 a year as a reward to run against me. Do you believe it? This is politics, everybody. So you go vote for Carmen Yeager. You go let him give no-show jobs. But I'm going to talk about his ethics. He's under ethics. But we're going to start right now. I don't want to bore you yet. I'm going to give you my quote and joke in Ezra. Last week they laughed. It was funny.
Okay, we'll see what it is this week.
We'll see what it's like. Here's my quote. Power always thinks it has a great soul and vast views beyond the comprehension of the weak, and that it's doing God's service when it's violating all his laws. And the reason I had this quote today, a wonderful quote by John Quincy Adams, one of our presidents, is very simple.
John Quincy, so it's the sixth one, right? John Adams was the second. He was the sixth.
Sixth one, correct.
His father was the second.
Right, second and sixth.
Right.
The second, father and son, like the two Bushes.
Correct.
I'm speaking to the leaders of these parties. Their objective is to be objective, to let everybody run. I am a Republican. First of all, everybody says, oh, you just joined the party. No. I'm part of a Republican club over 2 years. I voted Republican half the times, from Reagan to Bush to Trump. I have been a party loyalist that follows rules and votes with my conscience. And when you go before the committee and you tell them, and I just want you to know how the vote came out. The vote was, and I met all those members, they clapped, they were quiet. Carmen wasn't even good at his speech. The vote was 11-11. 11-11 tie, which means Carmen shouldn't even get the vote. Even if it's a tie, big deal, even if you want to give it to him, but it was 11-11. The party chairman whipped out 10 proxy votes, which I know one of them belonged to me, but wasn't given to me. How do you get a proxy vote? This is a serious thing. Either they come vote or not vote. This is a serious thing to represent the party. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are going to be spent. Yeah, we know Carmen Yeager is going to challenge me, and I'm going to challenge him. Simple and plain.
So is Carmen getting the endorsement from the Republican?
He's getting no. What he did was they're giving him the nominee. He still has to go after the signatures.
Oh, he still has to get the signatures?
And he can't even do his Democratic signatures. So I'm going to be challenging on both sides. I'm going to try to knock him off the ballot. So Carmen, don't think like the first 2 times you didn't spend any money, you're going to get away with it. You're going to spend. We're going to take you to court like you're going to take me to court. His lawyer is Martin Connor, who came after me. So I have the best lawyer, Martin. If I hope you're watching this show, I hope you bill Carmen $300,000 because he doesn't even have it. So this is my problem. This conservative, but I didn't even mind because I like the Republican chairman. He's a wonderful man. He does a lot of good things. The vice chairman, Richie Barsimian, just a wonderful guy. The chairman is Ted Gora, wonderful guy. I guess there's politics and there's things, and he does favors. But again, Carmen has not accomplished.
Could you just answer one question for me? I mean, Carmen is a registered Democrat. He's a sitting Democrat on the city council, correct?
Correct.
So you are now a Republican. You're no longer a Democrat. So
right. So
my question is, why is it that the Brooklyn Republican Party constantly cross-endorses instead of putting up just a Republican candidate and at least giving voters a choice.
Very good. And that's exactly what I was telling the Republican Party. You know, you've been behind all these years. Ted took over the Republican Party a couple years ago, and he's working it. But there is no money. Carmen has not helped them with the funding. Carmen has not helped them with
I'm not talking about funding.
No, but you need to have a party. Because you know where I was yesterday? Last night I was at the New York Young Republicans.
Right, saw the video with you and Mr. Giuliani.
Right. Andrew Giuliani endorsed me. Not only that, they have 1,100 members. They are having a big project called the Manhattan Project. They have money. They have parties. They're actually growing and helping create a better society in the young Republicans. They let me join the party, which I'm so happy for. We could do better. I will support my party. I will raise money. Just like when I'm in my Republican club, I am a member. I paid. I give them office space. I try to help them. This is the objective here.
Yeah, but see, my point is, what I'm trying to say is, it frustrates me as a Republican living in New York City that we don't have any actual Republican candidates running for office because the Republican Party, except for a handful of candidates, will cross-endorse rather than put their own candidate.
That's what
and just throwing in the towel. It's just throwing in the towel before the race even starts.
And that's what Andrew Giuliani said at his speech. He said some of the Republican people or some of the parties are not working together. We're not on the same page. And if we're on the same page, we could take over. There's about 5 or 6 city council members. We're going to get another 3. I believe Avi Kagan could win it. I believe I'm going to crush Carmen Yeager. And I believe Ina is going to come back. I don't know.
Well, Ina's running back. She's not running, unless she's running for Congress. She's
running for city council. She raised 0 money and got 0 matching funds.
I don't think she needs to worry about her funds. She's
has
very popular in her district.
No. She's not very popular in her district. She actually has a Republican candidate running against him, Igor or somebody. I know that he's not really set yet for the thing, but I just met him the other day, so he's going to be challenging Ina. And you said, and in the Democratic side, there's nobody except for Amber Adler, who ran against me last time, but she's going to be the Democratic.
She'll be the candidate. And then you also mentioned Ari Kagan, right? Ari Kagan just is questionable if he's a Republican. Right?
He switched to Republican, and they took away his district, so he's running.
But he's also being challenged, isn't he?
He's being challenged big time, yeah.
All right. Within the Republican Party.
So we should get to. That's why I don't understand. If there's no candidate, I understand you cross-endorse. But here's a candidate that's raised the money, that showed you past. And all they were busy was the one thing of my past that Kalman brought up about the jail. And I explained it to them, that I do things, that I keep secrets, that I fight the government, I fight the city, I fight the inspectors, I fight City Hall for them. And if you want me to always blah, blah, blah of every secret that comes out, boy, I can get people in trouble. I don't want to. My objective is not to get people in trouble, but to help them with their compliances, help them get out of trouble, help them not go to jail, help them to get better and rehabilitate them. But I guess this is the way it is. Everybody's out for their own lining of the pockets. Not me. I'm okay. And that's what I tried to explain to them. Anyways, here's my joke. You want to hear my funny joke?
Let's go, Heshy.
It's a very good joke. Me and Linda, I'm losing weight right now.
You're doing very well.
I lost 80 pounds.
Well, then we got. I guess
I'm using the Ozempic. I'm cheating, but I'm also.
So we also be using the campaign funds for your new suits, right?
No, you don't even joke like that.
I'm joking.
Because if you say that, I can get in trouble.
I'm joking.
They sent me an email. You better be careful how you spend those funds. No playing around.
I am joking. It's illegal. I just wanted.
I have my.
This
lawyer,
was a test.
I have my lawyer.
This was a test.
My treasurer watching every penny. I am being careful. They came after me for my personal funds. They came after me on so many different things, and we are perfect. And I've always been perfect.
Good.
So we're going to be very good, and they're not going to be able to catch me. So I lost it. I'm using Ozempic, but I'm also trying to eat better. I've quit smoking. I'm trying to lead a healthier life, and I want to go see my grandson and my granddaughters. Matter of fact, I took out my granddaughters to eat this week for breakfast. Usually breakfast is $6, $7,
not anymore,
$8.
my friend.
I know that. My son takes me, he says, Pop, let's go to breakfast at this place on 13th Avenue, a very good place. So I figured, okay, it's a little more expensive, $12, $13. You know what I mean? Between the 3 of us, it's going to be about $30? $71 for breakfast. $71. A coffee was $8. I wanted a cup. I said, Moshe, are you crazy? Anyways, these kids don't know anything about it. But here's my joke. I went to the gym. Me and Linda have started to go to the gym. And all of a sudden, Linda starts to work out, and all of a sudden, she starts crying, her eyes swollen, nose red, and she says, "I can't see you anymore. I'm not going to let you hurt me like this again." I know you're thinking that she was talking to me, but she was really talking to the trainer. And the trainer says to her, "You only did one sit-up." Tell me that wasn't funny.
Okay.
That was funny.
That is a little.
Come
the,
on.
we have to work on the delivery, I think.
That was a bad delivery.
Yeah, I
got
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well. Okay. Okay. Well, what should I tell you? I thought it was pretty funny.
It was funny when I'm sure it was funny when it happened.
Well, it was funny. I thought it was funny, anyways. What else do I want to say? So, but I knew that you wouldn't have liked the joke.
No, it was a good joke. I just told you. I think we just have to work on the delivery.
Okay, so I'm prepared now for
What, a second joke or something?
Yeah,
Oh, God help us.
I had no choice on the second joke. Here we go. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
The second joke is simple. When my son Yankov was about 8 years old, he said, "Daddy, remember the big chocolate cake Mommy made for the holiday party? I promised not to eat any of it." I said, "Yes, my son." And little Yaakov continued, "Remember how you promised that if I did, I would get a timeout and in trouble?" I said again, "Yes, my son." Yaakov finishes up. He says, "Well, now, Dad, that I've broken my promise, it's probably fair that you break yours too."
Now, that's funny.
That was funny.
That was funny.
And the delivery was good.
Well, you see, that was good.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, guys, I am not upset with the parties. You know what I mean? I'm going to run for
Okay,
office. I knew all
interrupt for one
along
second?
that. Yeah.
Since we're talking about parties, I just want to wish my mother happy birthday. The
Happy
Shabbos is going to be my mother's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Levy.
So I just want to wish her happy.
Wow.
I'm not going to say the number
Don't
because
say the number. We don't want to. But happy birthday, Mrs. Levy. You should have many, many more and many more grandchildren. And I love Ezra.
Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my granddaughter Mira Nava and Layla and my grandson Yeshua. Sergeant Peter, hello. Ellie, my friend Ellie over there. And, of course, my wonderful co-host is just, I just love you. Oh, we got to do a commercial for you. You know?
Oh, I'll take that.
That's it. Let's go. Ezra Levy, attorney at law, specializing in all criminal matters, including weapons possession, drug offenses, domestic violence, theft offenses, assaults, DWI, criminal and family court, order of protection defenses. Call 917-755-1187, 917-755-1187. And, you know, I get your email.
So my email is EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com. That's EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com. There's also, I just want to let you know, with all the law reforms that they passed 2-3 years ago, one of the great things that could happen to help many people, even if you're not in legal trouble today, is if you had a pass, we could try to seal your record of a New York conviction. It doesn't expunge it, but it seals it. I've been successful in helping clients do it. I can help you too. As part of the services my practice offers, you could call me for that also, and we could work on it. And the beautiful thing is it could be any county in New York State.
Listen to me. I'm looking at some of the thing, and I see that, people say they can see and hear me. Okay, thank you. And let's see, Messi Times. I love Christopher Messi. The best show is, I love this guy, Messi. And I just want you to know, I'm not going to knock Kalman, but, you know.
Yes, you will.
Okay. First, I wish Christopher calls in. He tried to call in last week, but I told him the show was being recorded.
Yeah.
You know, the lady Francine was telling me, well, Kalman was great during the pandemic. I said, listen to me. The man didn't open the locks, the parks. He takes credit for it. The man was hiding in his basement for 4 months. The man raised our taxes during the epidemic or whatever when they closed down the city. The man, and here's all of this. I'm going to throw all of this out. Kalman is a wonderful man, good looking. I don't know. We're going to hear a couple of things. I'm going to talk about him in the future. But it's going to be a dirty campaign. There's no question. I know what you're telling me. Everybody's telling me, Heshy,
it doesn't have to be. I think you could win on your own on your accomplishments.
It's not winning on of course. But the point is, last time I tried, and he played dirty. What should I do, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, send in your text messages, emails, call me. Heshy, he's playing dirty. We don't want you to play dirty. My cousin calls me today. Heshy, I don't want you to play dirty. You're going to be a man. I said, but if he plays dirty and I don't play back, they get me. Like last year, this guy, Jeffrey Lev, opened up a pack and just came after me the last day with lies. You know what I mean? And you put up candidates. I mean, you have to fight back. If you don't fight back, look what happens. Look, I fought back with the governor. I fought back with the mayor. They could have, if I wouldn't have started with the locks in the health departments and the hospitals, they would have kept it closed another month or two. It is unacceptable not to fight back.
I'm not saying not to fight back, but I think we could there's some things we don't have to cross.
Well, I'm gonna
Okay.
try. I'm
Okay.
gonna try
That's all I could ask for.
I'm gonna try, but you know that as you know, a lot of people said, Heshy, you've calmed down, you've been more articulate, more quieter. Yes, I'm going to do that because that's what I am. I am a businessman, and I'm running this campaign like a business. I'm no more trusting on being naive, like you said.
Good.
I have a wonderful team. I am prepared for. We did phase 1. We're prepared for phase 2, and we're prepared for phase 3. So we're ready to go, and we've called over 1,000 people that we're going to make appointments to go with signatures door to door. So we have a set, beautiful campaign, and we're running it like a beautiful, organized team. And we have enough funds to go out and go for the war. So we're going to try to run this campaign like you want, calm and quiet. But it's not that Kalman that comes after me. Of course, he's very smart. He sends other people behind.
It's his minions.
And come on, right. So I believe that I don't care who else you send, you're still responsible.
I agree with that. The buck stops. The buck stops here. Sure.
Right. In my office, I'm responsible for
100%.
everything that goes up. So I'm ready to. And I have a question for you. Now that I'm finished with that, my campaign, I want to ask you. And by the way, am I not right about the hospitals? Was I not right about the pandemic? Wasn't I right about the masks? Wasn't I right about the schools? Wasn't when we were cutting open the parks in the 4th park, Kalman took the chain. It was his guy who cut it. And he held the chain. When the cops came, he handed it to me. He says, Heshy, don't talk. That is called a rat. And you know what? I kept my mouth shut. And I took the blame. And I want the Republican Party to know that I was willing to go to jail again for somebody that had no right even to take credit. My point to you is I'm a man of my word. I don't lie. I don't steal. I make mistakes. I'm a man of my word. I get calls daily. I get calls for donations. I get calls to help funds like the Shunrim and the Shmira, both organizations, even though they're maybe not on the same page, but I support them both because they protect my fellow man. That is my objective. My objective is to make the quality of life better for you. That's it. And better for myself. And my freedom. I had a guy called me today, a lawyer. He says, they knocked on the door of my client and they said they better come in. I said, First Amendment, 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment. I'm not going to quote the
16th.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though the 16th Amendment does always play in about the taxes. You can't just
That's federal income taxes, actually.
That's what it is?
Yes.
I don't know. I can't get it out of my head. Something's wrong with that amendment that we could use.
Yeah, we don't like paying it. That's okay.
Anyways, I have a question for you. We know that Trump is running for president.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to get that off the table right away. We know that DeSantis might run, but he has
DeSantis has not announced yet.
Okay, we know Pence is still looking
Pence has not announced yet.
Okay, now here's my question to you. Who is Nikki Haley?
So Nikki Haley was for actually
governor. I got that.
Okay, she announced. So she's the second person to announce. Right now, Joe Biden has not even announced. There's only 2 people running for president right now. Theoretically,
Joe Biden, we know is
technically, there's only 2 people.
Yeah.
So Nikki Haley was the former governor of South Carolina. Was pretty popular as the governor of South Carolina. If you listen to her, she was very successful. And as a result of that,
By the way, before you go on, somebody liked my joke about the sit-up.
Okay, good.
Hey,
I told you just through your delivery. The joke was funny, but the delivery.
Okay,
so
I messed up because you made me nervous.
I just want those anybody make you nervous.
I know.
Okay,
true.
so
you.
back to Miss Haley,
Yeah.
Mrs. Haley. So she was the governor of South Carolina. She was actually one of the popular governors in the Republican Party. And she was no fan of Donald Trump when he ran for president. She was actually she was endorsing other candidates. Eventually, she turned around and she became a cabinet member. She was the UN. She was the UN's ambassador for the United States during almost the first 2 years of the Trump administration. She resigned right before the midterm elections in 2018.
Why?
So that's very interesting. I heard I heard a theory by your friend Andrew Giuliani on the radio a few days ago. So his theory is this.
How is his show?
He's on Sid's show in the morning. He's on Sid Rosenberg's show. That's right here. He's there twice a week, which is a great show. It's one of my favorite radio shows. So he's pretty good. He seems to be he's very talented, very comfortable on the radio.
He's very comfortable wherever he goes.
I'm very impressed by him. I mean, actually,
as I saw him the other day, he came over, he hugged me, he endorsed me.
Right.
He remembers things. He's not a guy that
he's not running on his father's coattails.
Right, he's not.
So and I actually, when he ran for governor and was running against Lee Zeldin. Originally, I was going to vote for Zeldin in the primaries. Actually, after hearing and seeing how Andrew performed during the debates, I did vote for Andrew. But I actually have to say I was very impressed how once he lost. He became a very big proponent,
He's a supporter
fan of
that's-
Lee Zeldin. He was a good friend of
No,
Lee
no,
Zeldin.
because he's a Republican. He
He's
follows
also-
the
right.
rules. He's loyal. That's what I'm trying to tell
Right.
to the Republican Party.
So back-
stay loyal.
Right.
I'm here for you. I'm gonna help you. If we get us 3 or 4 more in, we can have 8 people in that city council, maybe 9.
Maybe not.
Now we're going to the next step that in 2 more years, we can try to get another 6 or 7 and raise money. And that's what I will do. I will go to the private sector. I will show them how to get jobs. I will show them how to make this city better. I will show them how we can fight these Democrats. And then maybe get 8 or 9 more in, and then now we can filibuster and control and switch a couple of Democrats to our side. We can actually, if we get 16 people plus 10 Democrats to vote with us, we actually can tell the mayor, jump in the lake and do the right thing.
Right. I think that mayor would actually appreciate. I think the problem is right now you have so many on the Democrat side. You have so many quote unquote progressives that they're so far to the left that they're controlling the party. So I think people will enjoy to have more. To have a little bit more of a choice and have it, but
Finish
more
up
moderate.
when you can,
So,
'cause I wanna
so
take
Nikki
a
Haley.
phone
So
call.
Andrew Giuliani made a good point as to why Ambassador Haley resigned when she did. She wanted to be able to say, look, if Trump was successful, I was part of the Trump team. If Trump became unpopular, well, I resigned because I didn't like him.
Wow.
That's Andrew Giuliani's theory, and I think it holds a lot of water because, if you heard her, she was saying, "I'll never run against Trump. I'm going to remain loyal." And then she, when Trump was starting to get into his
But I think-
self-inflicted wounds, she decided to run. I think she was always planning to run.
I think her whole campaign is a joke.
I don't think. Look, I will tell you.
She's
I think
not going to even get 2% of
I don't think she'll get. I don't disagree with you, but I think the bigger issue is this: the Nikki Haley's, the Mike Pence's. I'm not going to say John Bolton because I don't think he has a chance, but the Tim Scotts, any candidate who starts taking 2 to 3% in the primaries is not going to be taking those 2 to 3% away from Donald Trump. They're going to be taking away from Ron DeSantis. So and I think that's the issue. Because we've had this discussion.
Right.
We've had this
And I
discussion.
want to hear, we have an expert on the phone today.
Chris?
Christopher,
Yes, so
Christopher,
Chris-
are you on the line? Well, not.
No, yes, I know. I'm sure Chris is going to. Chris is probably going to agree with what I'm going to say. So, I'm hoping he's listening while we're trying to get him on. But, I think Ron DeSantis is more electable in a general election than Donald Trump is.
Ron DeSantis
So-
is an honorable man.
No, I think he's more electable. It's really
electable, but I don't think he's going to go against Trump.
No, he's running. He's definitely running.
I don't think so.
He has, look, you have politicians have limited shelf space where they could run.
He's young.
Yeah, he's young,
He
but the
has
thing
time.
is, this is the problem. This is
If
what
Donald Trump wins,
Heshy,
Ron DeSantis, he will build him to
no,
the
he won't.
next level.
Yeah, no, he won't, because the thing is, Ron DeSantis will be yesterday's news because he's
See,
term limited in Florida.
And that's my point.
He's
to you.
term limited in Florida.
Well,
This
but
could
he
be
gets 4 more years.
but those 4 years, he gets then he's 2 years without doing anything. And what have you done for me lately?
They say you need 2 years to run a campaign.
Yeah, but he could do those 2 years and be governor at the same time. He'll have something to fall back on. But the thing is, he's also a more electable candidate. Donald Trump cannot win in a general election.
By the way, I was reading on that there's an attorney, there's a reporter that they overheard, and Ron DeSantis' assistant said they overheard her saying that she is purposely told to cause trouble and to give crazy questions to the governor.
Of course.
That's not fair.
Well, of course. Come on. Look, it's very simple.
No, you have to ask
It's
fair
very
and truthful questions.
Okay, but the thing is,
just to go
we
out
don't
there
have
and make
we don't have journalists anymore. We don't have journalists. It's on both sides of the spectrum. It's both sides of the political spectrum. We don't have fair journalists anymore.
Yeah, let me read you the article. Here it is. The article
I think
says,
President DeSantis is going to be great.
Thank you, Chris. But you do agree with me that the more candidates who put their hand in the ring is going to just hurt DeSantis. And
No, I
ultimately
think it's
hurt the
actually
Republican
great. I
Party.
think we're going to have a really robust process with a lot of really good candidates. The world is going to get tired of boomers, and it's going to come down to DeSantis and potentially what's the name from Nikki Haley.
You don't
I
think
think
Trump was
DeSantis
no
will win.
way? So
Wait a minute, you think
you really think
Nikki
Nikki Haley
Haley
is a viable candidate?
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. I think she's very capable.
Not capable, viable.
not capable, but nobody.
Yeah,
viable.
viable.
To
Yeah,
run
of course she is.
So you tell me right now? You're telling me Trump is in third in your estimate?
I
And the
think
Republican candidate-
Trump has got to go away. The man is a
Chris,
disaster.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm trying to say to you is Trump's going to have his loyal base of 30% in the party going in.
Yeah,
you're looking at the primary process.
Way away.
You're looking
and
at
all
the
it's going to take is one or two more stumbles. Every time he says something stupid, another 2 or 3% of that 30 leaves.
All right, so you go back to 28.
You're talking about Trump talking stupid. Biden talks
We're
stupid
not.
every day.
You can't. That's not the issue. That's not the. Right now, we're talking about the Republican nominee.
I don't know.
The Republican nominee is going to be DeSantis, and he's going to win.
I think you're right.
The general election.
I agree with you.
You're telling me, Christopher, that for sure, because I didn't hear him raising money yet.
Oh,
he didn't make campaign.
He's coming out with a book in May.
So
he doesn't have to raise money.
He's coming
the
out
man
with
is a rock star. He's a rock star. You can know he's a rock star because the media focuses all of their machine gun fire on him. They hate him because they know that he was the only rational governor during their manufactured panic. They loathe him.
I agree.
Which makes you know he's a great guy.
No, Christopher, he's a great governor. He's smart. He's intelligent. But doesn't he have to form a committee, or what's it called again?
An exploration committee.
Yes.
I would suggest he's already done so.
But nobody knows it. He has to file it with campaign. He has to tell people about it. This is a big, serious thing.
There's a kitchen cabinet, and then there's an official filing.
So basically, it's still, but again, so he's months and months away from even announcing that.
Probably in May.
He doesn't have to announce. The election is in 2 years.
Yeah, no, but
Fine.
Next year is the January is the right primary season.
Yep. So here we are only. Yeah, we're 11 months away from that. I am not. The man's timing is good.
No, I agree with you.
He's disciplined. He's smart. They've got nothing on him. They have been trying their damnedest to find anything. They would like to find a girl who claimed that he groped her inappropriately at a sock hop when they were 12. They would grasp anything at this point, and there's nothing.
But nobody's saying that DeSantis is not qualified to honor. But right now, I got a call. I just want you to know.
You got to be careful about placing the I with an O, or people are going to start to associate it with that freak in Congress.
But which one, Matt Gaetz or George Santos?
Yeah,
George Santos, the worst.
I want you to know, I was, as you know, that I've officially announced my candidacy. The campaign finance has approved me. They've given me funding. I'm the second most, or two of us in the entire city of New York raised the most money, and we got matching funds. So we are running a beautiful team. I'm really ready to rock and roll. And what do you know what I was going through for the last week? I got five calls from the sitting councilman Kalman Yeager. I got from the assemblyman. I got from 6 of the community leaders. I got a call from the Conservative Party leader. Don't run.
Welcoming you aboard, I'm sure.
No, don't run. Wait 2 years. I said 2 years. No, it's not really 2 years. They're saying everybody runs a campaign. You need 23 months to run a proper campaign, and you must start. Now, this is what they're saying, and we'll help you freeze your money. I mean,
these idiots have mismanaged a beautiful city into a broken mess, and they're giving advice on what you should do.
But this is also my question. Now, you've been asked to wait till your 2 years, right?
Right.
Now, what happens if you wait those 2 years?
So basically,
you're going to be forgotten, and they're going to remind you not to bother.
So that's my point about you can't tell Ron DeSantis not to run this time around.
Right.
No, of course he's going to run.
I agree, but again, he's not Heshy Tischler's small councilman position.
But this is the Chris Christie problem.
Nobody's Heshy Tischler, so that's a problem we all have to cope with. But he will grapple with his inadequacies in that arena, and he will push forward.
No, but this is the Chris Christie issue, right? Chris Christie did not run when he had the chance, and he waited 4 years too late.
He did run.
He waited 4 years too late.
No, he had the Bridgegate problem.
No, Bridgegate was only after he lost. It was only after he decided not to run, and that was his only shot. You run when you're popular and we have a chance.
Well, I never liked Chris Christie.
That's not the issue.
He was governor.
That's not the issue because that's not the issue. He was a viable candidate.
Did you like Chris Christie at all?
He was a good governor.
No, he was not.
Somehow when a Republican gets into New Jersey, they become a Marxist. I found him awful and hypocritical. I found closing during the Wuhan hysteria, there was a lot of stupidity. But closing the beaches and then inevitably someone with a drone
right.
filming him sitting on the beach with his
Yeah, but
family.
that
What
was
a prick!
that was not COVID. That was pre-COVID. He
I
closed the
know,
beach with
I
something
know,
else.
I
He
know.
wasn't the governor during COVID.
Right, he was in
we
it.
can't,
By
we
the
can't
way-
blame. We
See,
can't blame him
he's
for
so
that.
awful. I conflate
Yeah,
the
we
two.
can't blame him for that.
But by the way, I want to give you guys bad news about New York City.
Oh, great,
It
thank
looks
you.
like the NYP just lacks the resources needed for across-the-board change.
Well, that's
And
what happens when we take $1 billion out of funding.
Right, and you give $1.5 billion for migrants. Do you know, Christopher, that we are paying $36 million to one hotel to house a couple of migrants? One guy.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. So of course we're going to lose $1.5 billion that we need, and we're going to go over budget.
Yeah.
But here are your major crime
Yeah.
numbers.
Every other country on the planet looks as if we're completely insane. These people broke our laws, and instead of deporting them, we're putting them up in hotels in Manhattan and giving them phones and food, which they throw out because they don't like, and then they cook on hot plates in the room and burn the place down, which then we will pay the guy to compensate him for.
Last week I was telling everybody of a new law that the Congress made for with 44,000 letters in it, or words, that state that not only will whoever we throw out of the government, throw out of the country and deport them, and even if they're drug dealers and have serious major felonies, as long as they don't have a 5-year prison sentence, we have to pay for their tickets to come back here, house them, and give them health insurance. That is one of the new laws that the Democrats...
You object to that? That makes all the sense in the world.
Oh, Chris, not even a joke. But I want to give you some numbers. The most tracked numbers by a thing called CompStat.
Yeah, CompStat is
Murder, robbery, burglary, grand larceny, car theft and rape hit 126,588 things, up 22.4% from 2021 and post 2017. I just want you to know, in all city last year saw more 170,000.
that last statistic was a little confusing. Was that car theft and rape as one crime, or were those two different crimes?
No, but I'm just saying that 100. There's been
You'd be surprised.
But you have to listen to this. In the last year, the city saw more than 170,000 felonies reported. The most since it started releasing such stats.
Okay, so I just want to say one thing about
the
CompStat.
record of 172,000 in 2022 is up 20.4% from 2021.
Welcome to Democrat governance.
Okay, no. I just want to say one thing about CompStat. Okay, so it's a good tracking system when it's done properly, but yet for years, CompStat was fudging the numbers. So because basically every precinct commander has to answer to the mayor and the police commissioner as to why their precinct is not reducing crime. So they underreported many things. So you could have something like a grand larceny, they'll just report it as a larceny, so a pet larceny, or just a larceny, and make it lower. So you have to be very careful about these numbers. I'm not saying that they're not accurate in their reflecting that crime is ridiculously high in New York City, and that our mayor, who claimed to be a law and order mayor because he's a retired police captain, is a failure. It's a complete failure.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
And I'm not
But
saying
everybody's saying no.
No.
Ezra, I want to skip this, and I want you to I want you to hear this.
But he
Christopher.
went to the Met Gala with a sparkly thing on his back that said no guns.
Right.
So, didn't that fix everything?
I guess not, but I want you to know, Ezra, what is federal law 18 U.S. 1924? Do you know what that is?
well, 18 is section 1924. No, I've heard 1983. But
Okay,
not,
somebody they sent me a question to ask you about. I don't
okay,
know
so I
what
have
that
to look it up.
I don't know what that beeping noise is, but it's
somebody's
making me
phone is on.
Okay, well, the producer better fix that.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. Misdemeanors in 2022 hit an 8-year high. Are you listening to this, Christopher? 8-year high
listening.
of 264,872, including the most including the almost 100,000 complaints of harassment.
Right, so this
plus
is
more than
You want to know
40,000
what stats
minor
that we
assaults.
track in Florida and Texas? We track a very different set of statistics. It's the amount of taxpayer dollars that citizens save the justice system by killing scumbags that break into our homes in the middle of the night.
okay.
That's the statistic we
Yeah,
track.
but
And
Chris,
wait a minute, and wait a minute.
Chris,
Shoplifting,
in New York, we don't get to do that.
Shoplifting jumped 45%.
Yeah, that's because we know that because basically, I mean, these days it's the exception to the rule to actually pay for what you buy.
But here's my problem. See, no, I got you. But here's my problem. The cops are not being utilized correctly. What they did was they issued 83,000 summonses. Why are we keeping the cops busy issuing summonses instead of watching crime?
When they say summonses, it's
No,
DAT.
no,
the
no,
DATs
no.
are summonses also.
Incorrect. DATs are court appearances.
So are
and criminal
summonses.
No, summonses on the street.
No,
and
because-
tickets. That's what they're looking for.
You know what the major problem is, and this is where we're gonna be insanely helpful to you in your campaign, Heshy. No one cares about statistics; their eyes glaze over.
Well, it's not that
We know it's awful. People just don't care. It doesn't connect to them. That's why Willie Horton won a campaign. It's why you pick a problem, you put a face on it, and you personalize it. And stories resonate with people. The numbers, they don't mean anything to people. They just don't. Sadly, they should, but they don't.
But Christopher, the numbers should mean.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
Of course they should.
When they come
There's a lot
after
of should in this world.
But I
I
think
got a
that-
long list of should.
No, I think what Chris is trying to say is, we need the story, we need the person, we need the victim, you need the family that got unfortunately,
Right.
Because
I'm
that's
going
what
to-
resonates.
I'm going to be interviewing a woman that was molested and groped, and I'm going to be interviewing her anonymously in about 2 days. And I'm going to ask her to come forward, but you know that she can't and
No,
she
she
won't.
won't. She
But
won't.
the
And she
point
shouldn't have
is
to.
I'm going to try to
She
help
shouldn't
her.
have to.
By the way, Christopher, I'm coming. We're doing, as you know, we passed phase 1, and we've got our team together. We're going to be going out for signatures, and then we're going to be submitting our signatures April 5th, which is Passover, and I'll be going down to Florida, and I'm hoping.
Yeah, all right.
I'm hoping you
You
come
getting
by.
Republicans-
I hope you come by and crash by me or for a Seder. You're going to have a great time because I'm going to pray to God over the Passover holiday and eat matzah and struggle and lose weight because when I come back, Kalman better be ready because I'm going to be challenging Kalman and he's not going to want to debate me.
So Heshy, when
How
is
do
the
I get him
Republican-
to a debate?
When is the Republican primary?
The Republican primary is going to be June 17th.
All right, so that's our target date.
That's our target.
It's target day. You're going to come down here. We're going to have a Seder. It's going to be phenomenal. And I'm going to take you out in the swamps and we're going to wrestle gators for an afternoon. And that's going to get your blood up. And you're going to be all ready to take
I'm
on.
not going to wrestle
Carmen.
Gators. I'm going to be wrestling.
Yeah, you
Kalman.
are. Yeah, you are. Come on, my little girl jumps on their back and pulls them and wraps their mouths up with tape. You can do it.
By the way, I want to tell you something about our mayor. Our mayor. I want to tell you something about our mayor. Our mayor can get his employees to come in because he lets them work from home
Well,
remotely.
they're quitting also. The ones that, I mean, look.
It's not quitting. People
on,
want jobs.
Would
And
you
he-
love to police remotely? That'd be killer. What does that mean? You
But
sit at your desk
actually-
in your underwear, chomping Doritos,
Actually-
looking at cameras, and there's a microphone saying, "Hey, you, stop that!
Now,
You'll
Chris-
be under arrest in 20 minutes. I'm sending someone. Wait there."
Chris,
by
they
letting-
are
by-
policing
by
remotely.
letting,
They are policing remotely.
And by employees, but I just want you to know, employees are allowing employers to let their workers work from home, which I don't allow anymore, even though I still have one or two. It's costing this city, and it's costing Manhattan more than $12 billion a year. $12 billion a year, it's just crazy. I don't know.
So yeah, but it's also I think.
Just think of how many illegal immigrants we could put up in the plaza for that $12 billion. It's a travesty.
Right.
It's being used on remote policing.
Yeah, no, wait a second. So look, remote. Look, you have to say this, police officers have zero incentive to do their job anymore.
Well,
So,
No,
okay,
absolutely.
so but
And
there's a
actually,
big-
I'll make you a deal. If you don't want to wrestle gators, all you got to do is grab one anaconda. That's it. At least a 12-footer. You get it. You get a choice of gator wrestling or
Tough guy.
anaconda wrangling.
I think-
And the two are different.
I think Heshy's staying in Brooklyn for Pesach.
I want to get our next caller on the phone, Lenny. But before you go, and this is a very important question, Christopher. The people elected John Fetterman. They say that the man hears voices in his head. He can't function in the Senate. I mean, come on, man.
He's our next president.
He's our current president. They can just swap him in and out.
telling you. I'm telling you
Look,
that water in Pennsylvania. I'm telling you, you know.
Any comment?
Lurch's wife is the most conniving success story in this country. The Brazilian yoga instructor got a hold of him, and she's a puppeteer. She's a senator. It's awesome. I love her.
Well, come on, Joe Biden's the president, so there you go.
Any parting comments on Hunter Biden, and you think anything's going to happen about that?
He's going to do massive federal time.
No, he isn't.
Really?
He's gonna get a presidential pardon.
Can he do that?
Of course he could. His father's the president.
But the whole
It's a federal crime. He's gonna get presidential pardon.
Oh my God, Christopher, you agree?
There are going to be state crimes in there, too. Where they give him a presidential pardon on the federal, the state AGs will have a shot at him. In any of the states that he filmed himself with hookers weighing out drugs on a scale, holding a gun that he bought illegally, he's going to jail.
Wow. I love you, Christopher. I can't wait to see
Have
you
a great show, guys. Good to see you.
We will. Thank you so much. I love you.
Bye-bye.
You see, he's the most intelligent man that I know.
Excuse me.
No, you're smart. No, you're smart.
I think Chris is very intelligent.
and a thing, but I just want you to know he understands
he's worldly.
the essence of this country.
Yeah,
he understands the truth, and when you tell him something, he's not scared to tell you. Listen, man, this is the way it's going to be. So I do listen to him about Nikki Haley and DeSantis. I don't like his opinion. Well, the truth of the matter is, I'm scared that he's right.
Look,
because I do like Trump.
Look, it's not. It's again. I mean, this is what the misconception is. You see, there's Trump policies and there's Trump the person. So Trump's policies are what you like. You don't necessarily have to like Trump the person.
Okay.
And Ron DeSantis, not Santos, DeSantis. Okay, Ron DeSantis has the same political philosophy as Donald Trump the president had, without the baggage of Donald Trump the person.
Okay, but
it's also, Donald Trump, if
you think Ron DeSantis is going to get up there and tell Congress and Senate drop dead?
Yes.
Okay.
He's doing it. You know what? Actually, he doesn't. He won't have to because he's going to be actually getting more people.
We have another call on the phone. Lenny, are you there, Lenny?
I'm here. How are you?
I miss you, Lenny. I know last week I wasn't around. I had to go speak in front
I know.
your
Listen,
Republican
committee. I got to
committee.
say this before anything. I don't want you to get mad at me, but Ezra's joke about him being the next president in Pennsylvania, his delivery was there. It was funny. I'm sorry. I got to give it to the man.
So basically, you're knocking my jokes for the day, Lenny. Hang up on Lenny.
I love Lenny. Leave Lenny on. Take over the show. Okay.
Listen, you said before that Mayor Adams was a police officer. There isn't a police officer, captain, lieutenant, inspector, or chief that would say this day that
I know he was
Eric Adams spent more time suing the police department.
We know that.
I don't know that.
No, he was because he was the leader of 100 blacks or 1,000 blacks in law enforcement.
Yes. But he spent more time in suing the police department than he did actually probably on patrol.
No, without that, he had one. I think he had one arrest in 30 years. But the thing is,
no way.
Yeah, that's his numbers are. And basically, and Lenny will tell you to be an arresting officer doesn't mean you put the cuffs on. It just means you fill out the paperwork. So
exactly.
Right. So that's right.
And I totally agree with you. Hochul goes and gives $1 billion from migrants. Okay. When they're throwing out the food, they send them to Canada, and they come back because it's too cold. Let's all remember who invited them here. This was Mayor Adams.
Right.
He said, come to New York. He didn't expect the governor of Texas and everybody else to be sending them here in droves, in buses. But the thing I'm trying to get at is, who's paying for all of this?
You and I, my friend.
We are.
Ezra, me? Who's paying for all of this stuff? Okay? You go on Spring Street in Manhattan, look in the doorway. It's an American citizen sleeping there on cardboard.
That's true.
But yet these people, we're putting in hotels, and they're mad because they don't like the food that they're getting.
He's right.
Well,
and I'll tell you, it's not just those. It's not just the homeless. I mean, we have a couple military installations in the New York City area, and our servicemen are not being paid enough to live. They don't have a livable wage.
They're not.
They don't have a livable wage when they have to live in the 5 boroughs, and yet we pay our tax money is being misused. But it's the same thing. Look, our city council and our state legislature has decided
the city council.
Our city council.
Ezra,
Yes, sir.
Ezra, what you say about Donald Trump, you say about his policies and the person. I don't have a problem with either one of them.
Okay.
Because Donald Trump, the person, goes after the news media.
Lenny, let me be clear. I would vote for Trump again if he's a Republican candidate. I just don't think he could win, and that's really what counts. Because right now, our country.
Sure on that. These people in Nebraska, these people in Ohio, they like Trump.
They like Trump, but they will also. Let me hear me
Your
out.
way of thinking.
Hear me out for a second, Lenny.
Your way of thinking is no good.
Hear me out for a second. Just wait a second. Hear me out for a
I want to
second.
interrupt you on your comment because your way of thinking. I go around and I have a lot of friends that talk to me. Says Heshy, we tell people to vote for you. They said yes, we like Heshy, but we don't think he has a chance to win, so we're not voting for him.
But the thing
that's not the way of thinking.
Wait a second. Ohio is now probably a red state. It's not even a swing state anymore. Nebraska, it will go. I think one electoral vote will go to the Democrats. But those are red states. You have to look at these states that bounce, okay? And you need a candidate, right? We can't have a case again where you have 5 states with 30,000 votes, 100,000 votes determining the presidency within those states because you have a candidate who lost because people don't like who he is, not what he stands for.
Look at everything they've thrown at this man. It's bouncing back.
But he's
like the Teflon
God. But the thing is, Lenny, it will never stop, and eventually it sticks. You understand what I'm saying? Eventually it will stick.
Let me ask you this: do you think balloons? This is for anybody that's listening to this show. Do you think balloons would be flying over the United States?
No, 100%.
If Donald J. Trump was the president,
I agree with you.
I heard you. I heard you was.
I agree with you.
Do you believe that Ukraine would have been invaded? Do you think Ukraine would be invaded if Donald Trump?
So let's go. Let's think out of the box. I heard there were 3 more balloons.
Yeah, this weekend
there was 3 more balloons. So they're just doing whatever they want. You're telling me that if Donald Trump becomes president again, he's going to stop the war in Ukraine?
There won't be a war. He may not stop it, but there's not going to be another war. Right now, we have a problem. Lenny's right. Okay, because right now China's doing this. China's sending these balloons to see what we have. They're testing us because they want to invade Taiwan. They want to invade Taiwan.
You have a man in the presidency of the United States of America in a live TV audience is calling up a dead senator female to come to the podium.
He's right.
We're supposed to be a nation that was built on John Wayne, Chevrolet, and everything else? No!
He's right.
We're done.
Lenny, you're right, but I'm trying.
I agree. Lenny, I want to ask you a question, a personal question, if you don't mind, about me. You're a man of the people. You know a lot of the local Brooklyn people. You know a lot of the politicians and friends. And I know they talk about me and you talk about me. What do you think are my chances in the next campaign that I should be the next city councilman? And be honest. I want the listeners and audience.
I've told you this many a times. You have to present yourself as a serious person. Your heart is in the right place. You have to make people in your district and people that you come upon know that your heart is in the right place, and it would be beneficial for them to elect you into office.
I think I'm trying to do that.
I do not want people to look at Heshy Tischler and say the word Meshuggah. Your heart is in the right place.
You know what, Lenny? How could I be Meshuggah if I'm running a business with 14
You know me. That's the been making Meshuggah.
No. I deal with Meshuggahs all the time.
No, but I'm being serious.
How do I accomplish the things that I accomplish every day if I'm crazy?
No, I don't mean it that way. It's the way, you have to maybe, I don't know if to say take it down a notch, but you have to make people know that you're Heshy Tischler, you're here to stay, and you want them to realize that you want to represent them. That's what you have to do. I never would say anything bad about you, I would say, well, that's the way he is to people that ask me about you. But you have to make these people know you the way I know you, the way Ezra knows you.
Okay, I am trying to take it down a notch, which I think by taking it down a notch, it allows the city government agencies to take advantage of us. It allows the mayor to take advantage of us.
That's when you pull out your bag of tricks.
Right, it's once you're in.
Like Ezra would say, you don't have to pull them out right away. It's like a ping pong match. When they hit you hard, well, then you hit back harder.
Well, I know one thing. When I usually go into, this week I had 2 inspections. I'm going to have one tomorrow. When the inspectors come in, and one of my clients was there, he says, Heshy, and he calls me Heshy. They know me, a lot of them. And they say, when we come, we know that you're ready and rocking for us. We know that you're prepared. And when I come out there, I hit them right away with the plans, the permits, the compliances, show them the violations. I tell them exactly where to walk and where their violation conditions were. I keep them up.
This has to be conveyed to the voters. What you're telling me right now on your show has to be conveyed to your voters. They have to realize that you're a person that must be taken seriously and that you can help them immensely. We know your accomplishments. We have to make them know your accomplishments.
Well, I know one thing. I have a great smile. That's for sure. I even told the people that are going to make my new posters to make me look skinny this time, even skinnier.
That's a lot of photoshopping.
I know a lot of.
That's a lot of photoshopping.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Cindy Crawford.
Lenny, let's shift topic as a drop, and we're finished with our thing. Governor Hochul, our favorite person of all time, I just want to tell you, she appointed a guy to be the head of the.
She nominated She nominated Judge LaSalle, who
who
happens to be the presiding judge of the Second Department.
And he is not a leftist.
No, he's a moderate. He's a moderate judge.
And look what they did, Lenny. A guy who actually is a Democrat that really thinks in the middle that both sides like. The Democrats did not allow him to get it.
You have to, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you want to know something? Maybe you can answer it. I just don't get that. What happened there?
So what happened is this: Judge LaSalle wrote a couple of his opinions where he ruled against the labor unions, different labor unions. In New York State, the labor unions control all the Democrats.
That's why it's a Democratic state. We know this.
Right. And so basically, there are a lot of state senators who are beholden to the labor unions, and they nixed the nomination before it even got there.
So you're willing to
yes, it's politics. You have to. New York State is one of the most corrupt states when it comes to our elected officials. And all they're there for is money and more money and more money.
So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to make changes.
But I got to say one more thing before the show ends about the police, okay? What you were saying about where they should be deployed and stuff like that, I live in the confines of the 123 precinct in Staten Island. And I seen them the other day doing car stops. That's not going to stop people from getting shot and killed. That's number one, okay? Well, I don't know why they're putting 5, 6 policemen on a security check with the cars. That's number one. That's just to generate summonses. And the second thing, did either gentlemen see in the New York Post last week that the Civilian Complaint Review Board said the cops were all at fault, or basically most of them, with the George Floyd protesters?
Of course.
What were they supposed to do? Just stand there and have bottles be thrown and police cars set on fire?
Nobody really, Lenny, nobody really gives the CCRB any credence of being fair. And I will tell you something. I will tell you one thing. No, I know. I will tell you one thing you could that's promising is that the police commissioner Keyshawn Sewell is going to be ruling on every recommendation independently, and it seems she has the backs of her her uniformed officers. Right. So it seems like she has the backs of the uniformed officers. She's going to give them a fair shot.
Yes,
Well, all I
have
know
heard
is
good
I was
things
driving
about
down.
that.
I was driving down Coney Island yesterday, an area where there's bumper to bumper traffic, where nobody really has. Of course, there's an accident here and there, and the police made a police stop on Kings Highway and Coney Island Avenue. I don't even know why. For what? For seatbelts, and there wasn't one cop there. There was 8 cops there.
Well,
Waste of
Well, this
resources.
is what I'm saying. Why use your resources for summonses? Don't you have enough of these cameras around that we're getting bleed?
That's exactly, and that's one of the things, ladies and gentlemen. When I get in office, I'm going to stop those cameras. I can't take
They
it
gotta
away.
be stopped. Those cameras gotta be stopped.
They got to be
They
stopped.
cause more accidents than anything else.
And they're saying it's not true. Thank you, Lenny, for calling into the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another Just Enough Heshy show. Watch out. Buckle up. Here I come, February 26th. We're going out for signatures in the Ballpark, Flatbush, Midwood neighborhoods. We want you to come help us. If you want to volunteer, HeshyTishler.com or email me at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Come volunteer with me. Get me on that ballot. Don't forget, you can give a donation, $5, $10, $25, up to $175, and I get matching funds of 8 times the amount. I love you all. I'm here to fight for you. I will never stop fighting for you. Thank you.